We'll get into the studio now and have a conversation about our Ghanaian movie industry. And last week we began this conversation, and a gentleman who was here, and he's gradually becoming a part of us. When we are talking about movies, he's going to be joining us, and he is the business manager for Silver Bear Cinemas. Nanaya is here with us. Good afternoon, welcome. It's good to see you again. I'm good. I mean, all the swaggy move for some movies this afternoon.
But I wanted to ask the ladies, have you had your boobs checked?
From 2020, 2021, 2022, I did. So 2022, I wore, but I haven't. Yeah.
Save the boobs for us.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, media. It's a vital part of my body, so I'll really go and check.
Interested in
Yes.
the boobs.
The boobs,
It's
yeah, it has
very
to be
important
saved.
to save
It
that.
has to be saved.
Very, very
at all
important.
costs.
Yeah.
So I will check my. And in October, free
Screenings, go on,
in
yeah.
most of the hospitals. So it's not about you saying that I'll pay or I won't pay. It's free. So just walk into those free facilities and you get to check.
And check it out. Yeah. So join us also is Joseph Barrett. If you hear the name for the very first time, this doesn't sound Guinean unless it's from the central region. And he's a producer and also a director of a movie. We could tell him it's a Christian movie. I'm going to ask him if it's the right term for it. And it's called Until Hell Freezes Over. Joseph, good afternoon. Welcome.
Good afternoon.
Hope you're well.
I'm doing fine.
Great. Good to have you. The last picture I saw of you at the movie awards was gold.
Gold?
You had gold.
Yeah.
Oh, you had to
The
take
blonde
it.
hair.
The blonde. Oh, you had to take it off. But let me just begin with you. You've been producing and directing, and this particular one, how would you tell me? What Christian movie?
Okay, so I would say it's partly Christian movie and a family movie as well.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a bit of everything intertwining in there. So we are just trying to serve our audience with a bit of everything. We don't want to structure our movie to a particular direction. We want to cut across. So you have your Christian. Not too early. A little bit of everything.
Okay.
Yes.
Is that exactly what you do? You do just Christian movies, or you do a lot of other
My
things?
movies are basically of good morale, so
Okay.
you'll end up with a good moral note at the latter part of the movie. So you will end up getting out of the cinema with a particular message that you have to take to.
Like the Tyler Perry movies.
That's my mentor.
Oh, okay. So Tana is
That's
your.
my mentor.
What's the hardest thing about being a producer?
Finance.
Budget. Oh, it's always been the budget.
Finance.
It's always been the budget.
All right.
How much do you have to budget for, if you want to shoot a movie and say that I am satisfied with this movie? How much would you be budgeting?
Oh, God. It's a big question, but I think it would basically depend on every producer and every GS they want to use. But in an average, I think 50,000 won't be bad.
50,000.
Ghana cedis or dollars.
50,000.
Ghana cedis.
500 million.
Can do something, yeah.
Oh, you can do
You can
something.
do- If you want that top-notch quality that you are looking for, you have to hit that threshold. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Nanaya,
Yes,
last
sir.
week we started a conversation about having Ghanaian movies in the cinemas. When was the last time there was, in quotes, a Christian movie at the Silver Bear Cinemas? Do you remember anything like that?
There's been a couple. Remember this title, God is Calling?
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was a great one. And it had
The Mathankama movie.
No. Martha's movie is Happy Surprise.
Okay.
So that's what I actually opened this year with, on 1st of January 2022. Happy Surprise. That was a Christian movie as well. And if I'm not mistaken, it's the best Ghanaian movie I've done this year.
Really?
Yes.
Which one?
The
God is Calling,
Matankumas,
or
yeah.
No.
Martha's movie.
Martha's
Martha's
movie.
movie. Yeah. Happy Surprise.
Happy surprise.
How many times did you have to show it?
Okay, so it was in a cinema for at least a month.
Wow.
Oh,
Yes. Usually the local movies don't stay beyond a
for
week.
long.
Like I mentioned last week, after the premiere on Friday, you have some few footsteps trickling in on Saturday. If you are lucky,
Okay.
you have some people on Sunday. And then Monday, that movie is already dead. Yes, but unfortunately, the schedule is such that you can't take out a movie for a whole week. So the next week, my week begins on a Friday. So to the next Friday, you have to show that movie whether people are coming or not. And
Okay.
that is a cost to me that I don't entertain very much. So my message to the producers always is, don't channel all your attention on the premiere, but there should be a post-production budget there should be a marketing budget, publicity budget beyond the premiere. So you get a return visit, and that's where you make your money.
Okay, interesting. Okay, Harriet, you come in.
What was it about the movie though? Because this is my first time hearing about it. For it to be in the cinema for a month,
Happy surprise?
you're happy surprise.
Well, on what basis would you have it in there
Yeah.
for a month?
Okay, so I'll tell you this, and I mentioned it last week again. We are exhibitors, so our job is typically to wait till we have content and then we show. But I realize we are not helping the industry when we don't get involved in the production.
Okay.
So happy surprise conversation started when we were on lockdown, when I was home.
Okay.
Martha and the producer and the director were even coming over to my place to discuss this project way before they hit the set. Once they were on set, they invited me on set as well. You know, we can give certain advice, certain insight into how these movies will do when they come to the cinemas.
Okay.
So we were very much involved from the onset, pre-production, during production, and even after the production. I think that's majorly the success story for this particular title.
Okay. Joseph, have you had any of your movies, showcased at the Silverbird Cinemas?
No, not yet.
Why?
Not for any particular reason, but I think as time goes on, I'll try the cinema as well.
But have you made any steps, or you've heard producers take their movies there and
Yeah.
you've thought about it, like you'd want to have your movies there?
Yeah, I think I've been there a couple of times. I talked to the guys in there, how to submit your movie, and there. So I think I've done a couple of background information that I'm hoping that in the future I'll have a premiere there.
You're in the right place. 'Cause
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
to meet up with a big boss and talk about that. When you're producing a movie, as he's saying that one movie could last in the theater for over a month because of the quality in there. What are you looking at to make sure that you put out a movie that wouldn't just be a one-day movie that after the premiere nobody is not going to the cinema to watch anymore?
Yeah, so I think, as you rightly said, Tyler Perry has inspired me a lot. So I just try as much as possible to put a lot of things that I look out for the interest of people, because I don't want to channel my energy to a particular direction where it will attract a few audience. That's why I said that earlier. So I make sure that the story that I'm writing, it serves for the old, it serves for the young, for the middle class, and I mean everybody can actually relate with it. And before you leave the cinema hall, before you leave the place, you should be going away with a particular message that you're going to get inspired of or motivated by. And two, we're also looking at, producers and directors mostly look at the aesthetic features of what you are bringing out.
Okay.
It has to be. Now everybody's now on Netflix, so if you don't do something of standard or correlating to a Netflix standard, the patronage might be a little bit low for you. So I've been looking at these Netflix movies, the way they do their graphics, the way they do their content creating, the way the storyline goes. It's not the usual come out movie that from A, you're going to B.
So you had to just bring it.
I'm sorry.
They won't be happy with you. They won't be happy with you.
Don't worry.
No, but you can go on. Yeah, that was on the lighter one.
Yeah, so I've studied a lot, and I'm just trying to make sure that what I'm trying to put in the movie serves that purpose or stays in the cinema for long. I'll be happy that when we are done with the production or the first premiere, come and premiere here, come and premiere here. That's a very good feedback that lets you know that you are doing a great job and people want to consume your content more and more. So I look about the quality, the graphics, the content, the creativity behind what you're putting out there, because the people have to be intrigued and surprised at every little thing. So there are a lot of things in there that people will be like, hey. Even the title, the graphics, the names in there and everything has a particular marketing strategy put or embedded in there. So there are some codes in there that I think my brother would rightly understand, that we put certain things in there for people to keep on questioning and asking those questions just because they want to come and see what is inside there. I don't know whether you are getting what I'm trying to say. Yes. So these things are things that I mean, or I think they can give the project a longevity for you to maybe reap the budget that you've actually put in. So, yeah.
That's
That's something good to hear. Nana?
I want to know like the longest movie that has been in the cinema for a
Stayed
very
in the
long
cinema.
time.
A local
No,
or
no, a foreign movie.
3 to 4 months.
Wow, 3 to
3
4
to 4 months.
3 to 4 months.
back to back.
And every day
scenes.
people come in to come and watch.
Sold out.
Sold out.
Wow.
And what movie was that?
Okay, so I remember Endgame.
True.
Yeah.
What about Harry Potter?
It has an age.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Wow. 3, 4 months.
Marvel titles and the DC ones are
That's
the
cool.
ones breaking the banks.
Yeah. But how often do Ghanaian producers or directors call Silverbird to come on board when they are doing the consideration for everything, planning and execution of the movie? How often do they do that? You mentioned Martha did.
Almost never.
Almost never.
Almost never. Oh,
That's serious. So is it that?
So we made that conscious effort to get ourselves involved because it was disheartening having to turn down a lot of movies every week.
Yeah.
I receive a lot of movies.
Yeah.
I mentioned it last time I was here. At least 10 movies a month. I refuse to show it because it doesn't meet certain criteria, certain standards that we require as a cinema. And to invest so much money, 50,000 is no joke.
Yeah.
And sometimes we write checks of about 2,000 and 4,000 after the movie has elapsed in the cinema. What would you do with 5,000 CDs? That's all they make when that movie hits the cinema.
5,000 cities.
1,000 CDs.
Less.
Oh,
That's sad.
I still have checks dated as far back as 2012. That has not been picked. They can't even come and pick their
Yeah.
checks. You know.
This is hard.
That's why we decided to get involved. To provide some
Yeah.
and all that so we can have some quality production.
When you say get on board, which people do you contact to get on board? Because, I mean, there are production houses that have the standard
Yeah.
and they don't even need you to come on board.
Definitely.
What does Silverbird do? Apart from maybe the awareness we see you create, what else do you do for them to understand that these are the things we look out for? These are the things you have to do.
Okay, so you can't go to every single person and explain
Yeah.
how they should do their job.
Yeah.
So we had some symposiums organized for them. Unfortunately, like you mentioned, the same old people who know their left from right are the very people who came for those symposiums.
Okay.
The Abdul Salams,
Yeah,
the Shelley
yeah.
Frimpong
Crowd
Marathon.
production.
They don't
YN,
even need
yeah.
these things, but they show up anytime Silverbird make an effort to meet producers and directors and engage them on what we expect in the cinemas. The newbies, the up-and-coming directors and producers don't show up.
Yeah.
And they are the people who actually need this education.
Education. Those symposium.
The-
And the people who need a symposium, but they don't
the
actually
people
check.
who
That's
need
sad.
that.
Let me
Okay.
come to you, Barrett. I mean, you mentioned that you try to get your movies like the standard way by watching these Netflix and all that. And it's disheartening that finances is one of the biggest challenges facing the industry, not just movies, music, everywhere. Finances is one of our biggest challenges.
Yeah.
How do you get money to fund your stuff?
Okay, so this is a very big question, but I'll talk in my personal view. Okay, so I've seen a couple of directors and producers that they crumble at the latter part because they put their whole energy on a particular project, and at the end of the day, they don't get the returns or the money that they need to do another one, because it's every director's dream to get the budget and even get a profit to shoot a next movie. So personally, I started studying one. I don't want to mention their names because it's hard for them now. Yeah, it's very sad. So I studied them, and I thought to myself that why don't I do something, another thing on the side, so that if this is not really spearheading well, I'll just fall back on something. That's now the mindset of all the growing producers and the characters and directors, because if you don't try and fall back on something, you're going to crash.
Does that even allow you to focus on movie and bring out the best from it? Because now you're trying to get, other means of income from other jobs. not really focusing on movie?
Yeah, so with that, passion does it all. Because I don't know how I do it. I work 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, but in the weekend, you never find me in my house. I'm out doing production, location scouting, and everything. So the passion is a very high-driven energy that drives us all the time. We mostly like to actually grow to a particular stage where we do filmmaking all through our lives. But I think from the onset or from the beginning, you have to start from somewhere. So I think Tyler Perry, for instance, is now self-sufficient when it comes to this production thing. So we are all
The Tyler Perry example, I don't want to think.
Movie so far.
yeah, I think
Have you benefited from your
yeah,
movies?
yeah.
Really?
It's enough
So
to
far,
keep
so
you.
good. So far, so
Like
good.
profits,
you
like
motivated.
profits. You've made profits from.
Yes, I've made profits.
Is it enough to keep you motivated?
As I said earlier, the passion is one, because sometimes producers
I
and
don't be
directors.
passing good job.
Maybe then again other things too.
So the passion is the driven energy. That is what keeps us going. If not for the passion, we would have laid back and stopped producing, because you go on set, you prepare, and you go. Somebody can steal your car battery, and you have to pay for this.
For real?
A lot of things happen on set. You can ask my brother. A lot of things happens. So if not for that's why I keep on mentioning the passion. If it's not there, you can't even venture. It's a whole new energy and whole new area of its own. It's very difficult. So the passion is one, and the strategies you put together is also another thing. You
Okay.
can't just try to benefit just by yourself. You have to make sure that everybody is also benefiting. That's where the little profits comes from. Yeah.
Okay, so we've been talking about theaters and avenues for producers to show their movies. Silverbird is just one of them. It was just until recent times that the AMA, but that's a Snap Cinema, I heard, also came up. But which other avenues have you thought of, outside Silverbird, outside Snaps, to make sure that your movie gets to a wider audience, for people to have a feel of it, like they're going to, the Silverbird or any other place, and even outside Accra?
Okay, so I think it's a growing industry. It's still growing. I don't know where you're going to get to that peak, but it's a growing industry. So if you're not...
You've been growing for a very long time, though.
very long time. So if you are not going to be so much comfortable with the budget Silverbird will talk you with, you can consider Snap Cinema. You can also consider Conference Center. You can consider... there are a couple of conference centers and auditoriums that you can use instead of a cinema itself. So you are going to provide your own screens and all that, but Silverbird has everything.
But for someone like you says you make movies, that talk about good morals, obviously one of the places to go to would be the church.
Yeah.
And for musicians, they've devised a new strategy where outside the Accra Conference Center and some other places, they now do the churches at the Perez Dome and all the other places. How about getting into those places and having conversations, or you've done that already?
Done that already.
Okay.
So these are things that we are looking at because it's a Christian film. I mostly say it's a partly Christian film because of the things we've put in the movies.
Okay.
So it talks about generally everything. But once it has a Christian moral and it doesn't have any explicit content in there, we've talked to, I'm an ICGC member, so I've started a conversation with them. And Lighthouse Chapel International, we are in conversation with them that if we are done with the main premiere, we will be grateful to have that particular space for the premiere.
Okay.
So we are still in talking terms with the churches, with some universities and all that, so that we can actually preach. It's not mostly about the money. We're actually trying to preach the message to the people. It's a story we are writing. We don't just write a story and focus on the money. No, we are putting down some things in the movie that, you see these Netflix movies, they mostly hit stuffs in the movies. They tell a lot of stories. So before you go back and go and watch, you be like, oh, COVID-19 crash, it was in this particular movie. So that's what we are trying to picture. We are trying to put ourselves in everybody's shoes. Things that you are not enlightened about, you put it in the story.
What about online streaming, apart from Netflix?
Yeah.
I think we have Wi-Flix.
There's Wi-Flix, there's Showmax and some other platforms
yeah.
that people can also stream
I
from.
think Ghana just launched one online streaming platform, Homie, sorry, if you heard about it. So that's it's for Africa, for Africans. So I think that's another platform or avenue the producers can also look and make some money after the movie leaves the theaters.
Okay. Yeah. So if you're just tuning in, you're watching Entertainment Review on Metro Television, and we're talking to Nanaya, who is the business manager for Silverbird Cinemas, and of course, Joseph Barrett. He is a producer and a director, and he has a movie, Until Hell Freezes Over. We'll come back and talk about what that movie is exactly about. Stick and stay with us. Entertainment Review will be back shortly. break, Tibet review. Yeah, we've got a few minutes to wrap it up. We're talking about the Ghanaian movie industry, how producers get to do their movies, and that's why Joseph Barrett is here making some good movies. And Nanaya was also here talking about how the end product. He says that they are the exhibitors, so the producers work, they bring it and they show it. If it's good enough, you get the money. If it's not good, your check will still be in his office because you really want to come for 3,000 Ghana cedis and all that. I know Nanaya has been itching to talk about the movies that are coming up in the next couple of weeks. So we talk about that, and then we talk about Until Hell Freezes Over, and we wrap it up. So the movie's coming on.
Black Adam is next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We have a Nigerian wedding this weekend coming up. A Nigerian
Hey,
wedding.
I thought you were just...
It's
so
a title
that's
of
a Nigerian
a
wedding.
Nigerian wedding. I think you guys should come watch it.
Okay.
A great one. We have Avatar coming.
Oh.
And then we have Black
That's
Panther
December.
coming as well. Yes.
And Cookers movie. There's some OG movie. I've forgotten the name.
I'm reserving that movie.
Oh,
for
you're
you.
reserving
Yes,
that
yes,
one.
yes, yes,
But
yes.
I don't want
Is
to.
it Ticket to Paradise?
No, it's an OG.
It's Tickets to Paradise.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
But that's next month. So I
No,
don't want to
This
talk
boy.
about it.
I'm very bad when it comes to movies. though, so pardon me. They know that when it comes to me, the conversation about Ghana, Nigeria, I really don't like it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But sometimes the comparison gives us an edge to know how we could get better.
Yes.
People watch a lot of Nigerian movies on YouTube, which for me are, in quotes, Nigerian, sorry, trash. That's the truth. The actual movies, in quote, that are very good, you find them on the Netflixes and the others. We've been striving for our movies together. Also, recently, Aloe Vera was on Netflix. I've watched that. As someone who is there, you see how the movies are shot, how they're done. What do you think that we can do to also have that audience? Because you're talking about a Nigerian wedding. It will shock you that when it shows there, a lot of people will go and watch it rather than watch a Ghanaian movie that will be premiering there.
Yeah.
What should we be doing to get the numbers also?
They need help. So when you go to Nigeria, for instance, movie producers are getting loans and paying them back in a single-digit interest rate. So the
Okay.
Bank of Industry in Nigeria gives movie producers loans
Wow.
as much money as you need to go do your production,
Okay.
and your interest rate is less than 5%. So that's quite attractive, right?
Yes.
Ghana here, you are not getting the loan in the first place. And if you attempt to go get it yourself, interest rate is hovering around 27 to 30%.
You have a long way to go.
You can't do business with this kind of interventions, yes. But one thing that's making the Nigerian industry thrive, in my opinion, is the fact that they work together. Producer, actor, director, 2-3 producers can come together and do a movie.
And shoot one movie.
Yes. Every Ghanaian producer is all by himself, doing the job all by himself. I don't know why there's so much bigotry in the industry, but they are simply not willing. I've had 3-4 producers sit in my office, and I'm suggesting you guys should come up with a production. Everybody's giving me a smirk, like, I don't need this guy. I don't need that guy. So we are going to be where we are till we decide to work together. If we don't, then it will just be hand to mouth like we are doing now.
Yeah.
I mean, from what you said, the Nigerian investors, these people giving the loans, they believe in the craft.
Yeah.
They believe that if we put our money here, we are going to get it back. What at all is going on in Ghana that our investors or people who can give the money are not seeing to help or aid in bringing investment to help the industry?
Okay, so this is a bigger picture. The government in Nigeria also believes in the industry.
Okay.
I can't say same for Ghana.
Yeah.
We are building cathedrals
Yeah.
instead of cinema halls in every region.
On God.
Yes.
Period.
So people can actually make their money. If Cape Coast has a cinema, Tadi has one, Sunyani has one, Ho has one. Just these cities, every producer is going to make tons of cash.
Yes.
Okay.
But they only have Silverbird cinemas. If I refuse to take their movie, best chance they take it to a hotel somewhere, probably Snap Cinemas. After that movie leaves the cinema, that's it.
That's it.
They can't take it anywhere else. So it's a no-brainer. we need a lot of auditorium. We need the government intervention. They need to support the acts. When COVID was over, I had a relief package of a
relief
sort, a relief fund. I'm wondering who got it.
Wait.
Because I didn't. And Silverbird was the most hit
Yes.
Yeah.
company in Ghana. We were home for 16 months.
Yeah.
I'm not sure a lot of companies can,
You didn't
survive that.
get anything.
Yeah.
Nothing. So I'm
And when they
wondering.
came back, they
And
gave
I'm really asking, who really got these funds? I need to know.
Please, those who got the money, we need to know. Thank you very much, Nanaya, on that one. Joseph, so tell us, Until Hell Freezes Over in a minute. Give us the details, what the plot is, and when it's showing.
Okay, so Until Hell Freezes Over is showing on the 15th of October, Snap Cinema. We are doing 2 shows, 5 p.m. and 7 p.m.
Okay.
Red carpet starts at 4:30. We are hoping to see everybody looking plush and beautiful at the cinema that night. Okay, so it talks about a young, poor guy who struggled his entire life because his parents died at early ages. So
Okay.
he just kept on struggling from one job to other, trying to hit on the road, but it wasn't proving fruitful. So to worsen things up, he also met a very young, rich lady trying to make sure that things work together for him, but it turns into another nightmare.
Okay.
So we've inculcated a particular characters, special characters like the Hollywood people do, this Spider-Man and this Black Widow people. We've also created particular characters in the movie with special costuming and everything that
Okay.
will be overseers around the movie. So you see a particular character. There's a particular character I want to mention the name. The name is Origin. So Origin is going to see things beyond the ordinary.
Okay.
Origin has the ability to see into the future. So whatever that happens in the movie,
Okay.
somebody will be seeing it and be correcting things as and when needed. So
Okay.
yeah, we have all these characters in there just to try and bring people's awareness about
Okay.
how we can also try as an industry putting all these things together. It wasn't easy getting the characters on board, the costuming, and because I was even trying to order some particular clothes.
But you couldn't get
It
it.
didn't even come.
How much is the ticket, though?
Tickets is 100 cedis VIP, 50 Ghana cedis regular.
Okay. Oh, yeah. The regular. This is very moderate. Thank you very much, Joseph, for coming. We've got to wrap it all up here.
Yeah.
Happy birthday going out to Isaac J. Bamfo, a.k.a. Dro, Director of Ensemble, Koforia Youth. And also happy birthday to Oli Flavor. Today is your birthday. God richly bless you. Thank you for watching. My name is Jesse Faden, the Star Boy, and I was here with,
And I had Tano Abuache.
and of
And
course,
Harriet Addy. That
Yeah.
birthday wish was from Shadrach Odame.
Okay.
Here at Metro TV.
thank you guys so much, and big shouts to the production team. Up next is News Flash. Bye.